these kinds of things, starting with Reaganomics back in the 1980s, and then neoliberalism under Bill Clinton, and everything that's happened since then. We've seen the position of the working class in the United States in particular decline. To a lesser degree, it's happening in other advanced industrial, technological societies, but in the United States, it's been particularly significant. And that's why we see the widening class divisions. Now, when I say we're becoming re-proletarianized, well, proletarianism was just a term for the impoverished masses of workers that came out of the Industrial Revolution. It's a Marxist term, but you have to be a Marxist to recognize this. But what we're seeing now is the working class in the United States is less and less working in jobs that they're going to be able to have a middle-class standard of living, certainly not with any kind of security. And more the working class is working in service industry jobs, low-wage jobs that are of a temporary nature. For instance, it's not uncommon to find a lot of working people now who have 3 or 4 part-time jobs, none of which provide things like health care benefits or retirement benefits or disability or anything like that beyond just the bare minimum that's required by the state, like workman's comp and some of those kinds of things. So we're starting to see more and more people working in these kinds of jobs, and meanwhile the cost of living, particularly housing prices have really become exorbitant, particularly in large cities in recent years. So this has the effect of re-proletarianizing the working class. So the working class is looking for low wages, longer hours, worse conditions, less benefits, and a higher cost of living.
We are on live radio right now, and just about everybody listening is in the United States. But tomorrow I'll put this up as a podcast, and people will be listening to it in the UK and in Australia and even in Japan and China. I'd like to invite you in our closing moments here to address some of the themes of this past hour's conversation, but maybe bring in some examples that would be more of interest to an international audience.
Well, a similar process is unfolding in other countries, at least the ones that are similar to the United States. If we look at the nations around the world that are similar to the United States, that is Europe, Australia, New Zealand, the Oceania region, we're starting to see similar things happen in the sense that we're starting to see the rise of both a left and a right-wing populism that is challenging the neoliberal consensus. The neoliberal economic consensus that existed in the Western world, predominantly meaning the countries that I just mentioned, plus a few others, for decades now. And now we're starting to actually see the effects of that. Part of it was the recession that happened 10 years ago, but then we've also started to see other lingering effects of neoliberal policies of different kinds. And what's starting to happen now is the neoliberal consensus that elites have been subscribed to for decades is being challenged from both the left and from the right. In America, we've seen the rise of Trumpism from the right and Bernie Sandersism from the left. But we're seeing that in England with the rise of Brexit and with the rise of Corbyn from the left. We're seeing this in France with the rise of the Front National, and also from there was a challenge from the far left recently as well. We're seeing this in Germany. We're starting to see the rise of left populism tendencies, as well as the rise of right-wing nationalism, like Alternatives for Deutschland and some of those groups. We're seeing this all throughout the developed world. We're starting to see a challenge to the neoliberal consensus from both the left and the right. The big question is, what will be the future of that? There was a very interesting article written by a far-left person, a Marxist, who is something of an Antifa type in recent I won't say that. I'll say he's like a left anti-fascist. This fellow seems to be a Marxist with some far-left leanings. But there was a very interesting analysis by this writer named Don Hamerquist recently, where he points out what I think is correct, and that is that what is happening is that the neoliberal elites are essentially trying to co-opt left-wing populism to attack right-wing populism in the name of defending democracy and liberalism against right-wing authoritarianism and fascism. And that's why we see in the Western media, and with the exception of the partisan Bush government, we're starting to see them being attacked by the elite as fascists, as a threat to democracy. We're starting to see Russia attacked as somehow rigging Western elections and installing far-right figures. This, I think, represents an element by an aspect of neoliberalism strategy. Neoliberalism is trying to co-opt left-wing populism in order to attack right-wing populism, thereby deflecting and defusing all populism and maintaining the right position. The question is, will the elite be able to successfully co-opt opposition movements from the left? Will they be able to control and contain the opposition movements to the right? Will these efforts generate even more radical tendencies? Will the populist right actually go towards something that more closely resembles fascism? Will the populist left resist efforts to be co-opted and go even further left towards actual socialism or actual communism or something like that? I'm very skeptical of whether hardcore extremists are going to gain real power and influence the way they did in the aftermath of World War I. I think that's very unlikely. But I do think that this is an interesting situation where the neoliberal consensus in the developed countries is collapsing, and we're seeing the rise of the populist right and the populist left, and the neoliberal class is trying to respond in this particular way, and it remains to be seen how that will turn out.
Well, we are going to have to leave it there because we've got just over a minute left in the hour. But your response to Don Hammerquist is the top item on your website right now. The website is attackthesystem.com, and that story is called A Marxist View of the Capitalist Co-option of the Populist Left, which is kind of a mouthful to say, particularly on my radio, but communicates a lot. Keith Preston, I find our conversations very useful, so thank you so much for coming back to the C-Realm Radio Show.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Have a good day.
Likewise.
Alrighty, again, that was Keith Preston of Attack the System, and you have been listening to C-Realm Radio, which is an outgrowth of the long-running C-Realm podcast. You can find hundreds of hours of C-Realm podcast conversations on my website. It is crealm.com. That's the letter C, which stands for consciousness, and then a dash, and then R-E-A-L-M, crealm.com. My email address is kmo@crealm.com. All right, that's all for this episode of C-Realm Radio. Thanks for listening. I will talk to you again in 1 week's time.
Since 2005, the Black Sheep Radio studio has been entirely powered by renewable energy. Everything else happens through memberships, underwriting, donations, and volunteers. This is WLL-FM 91.5 Bellows Falls, community radio for Southern Vermont and New Hampshire borderlands.
The purpose of printing out all media these days is to sell you to advertisers. WOLF is proud to be different. Thanks for your conscious support and to our local owners, including
Rice Tree Service, answering residential and commercial needs in mid-Vermont and southern New Hampshire, including 24-hour emergency service. Rice-treeservice.com. Scottish Dancing, Wednesdays at 7:30 at the School Gym on School Street in Westminster. No partner needed. Soft suggested. Email kjh@sober.net to confirm it's on. The Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival at Tunbridge Fairgrounds in Tunbridge, Vermont. An autumn tradition for over 30 years. www.vtsheepandwoolfest.org. Sherwin Art Glass, handmade hot glass collectibles inspired by nature. SherwinArtGlass.com. WOOL welcomes your feedback. Send us an email at feedback@blacksheepradio.org or give us a call at 802-460-9665. That's 802-460-WOOL.
This is Radio Info Talk with Alex Smith.
The savage wildfires in California became a national tragedy this week and a global worry. It is still early days, but we have the potential for hundreds dead in these strange November mega fires. They struck after a long-standing drought, pumped up by climate change, withered the vegetation, and killed 129 million trees in the state. We will start this show with an interview that is so different from anything else you've heard from any other media reports. On the ground from Northern California, Literally choking on smoke, I talk with radio host Mariah Gallardin. Meteorologist Jason Samanow from the Washington Post also joins us. We will touch on possible radiation released in a fire that burned over a nuclear lab site 30 miles from Los Angeles. You know, the place where America's worst nuclear accident happened, and they never told you. I checked with the LA branch of Physicians for Social Responsibility, and I will play a short clip from Libby Halevi's show, Nuclear Hot Seat, and Arnie Gunderson. This fire reporting is stirring up my own unresolved angst about fires near my home in British Columbia, Canada, over the past 3 summers. I almost wept on hearing the situation in California. Tens of thousands of people are temporarily homeless. They're struggling. It sounds like several thousand of them will remain homeless, a new burden for California. Lurking behind all these fires, unseasonably late, driven by hot Santa Ana winds, moving faster than cars at times, is the big one, climate change. I don't need to phone up more scientists to get the facts. Back in 2013, I posted my first show with an expert. It was called The Age of Super Fires. It adds up, and for Western North America, apparently now for Scandinavia and Russia and Australia, super fires are the new norm. Perhaps megafires seem distant to you. Maybe you've been flooded out and loaded with snow already. But we know the smoke will travel thousands of miles, that a lot of people will be damaged not just with their property, but their minds and their hearts have been hurt. A new wave of carbon has been released from the trees to the sky, and that may affect climate change. And the world's 5th largest economy has been rocked by a fearful new reality. Earth has become an unstable and more risky place to live. That is where we have come, in our gas cars, and our oil machines, and our coal power. Climate change has arrived. It has many frightening faces, and one is fire. From Mendocino County, here's my talk with Mariah Gallardin, recorded November 14th, 2018. We have reached longtime radio producer Mariah Gallardin in Northern California. She's the host of TUC Radio. Time of Useful Consciousness has been on the air for a very long time. It originates in San Francisco, and it is syndicated to other stations. Over the years, we have played several of Mariah's pieces on Radio EcoShock. Hello, Mariah. How is it going where you are?
Hi, Alex. It's smoky here, as you might have guessed.
Yeah. So in a quick email exchange, you talked about being worried of toxins in the fire smoke that's even getting indoors right into your living room. What are you concerned about?
The most recent fire, the tragic fire that's still going on, that burned down a whole town, the whole town of Paradise.